A 46-year-old man says he was approached by multiple teens inside a Kia and a Hyundai in the parking lot of Norton Village Apartments. Police say at some point the teens left but circled back, driving directly at the man.
Now, let me stop right here. You know, when I hear about teenagers doing reckless things, I'm generally thinking, okay, maybe they're playing pranks, egging houses, TPing the neighborhood, you know, typical Generation X, millennial, older millennial, teen stuff. But stealing cars and trying to turn a human being into a hood ornament, that's a whole different level of stupidity.
He then pulled out a legally registered handgun and fired several rounds before the vehicle fled the scene. The 46-year-old man has not been charged. A short time later, though, a call came in for a 17-year-old who had been shot on South Union Street. Police say he was one of the teens inside the cars on Norton Village and was shot there. That 17-year-old is being treated for serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A stolen Kia and Hyundai were also found on South Union Street. Officers have arrested a 15-year-old on several charges in that, including grand larceny.
Okay, so here's the scene. You've got a 46-year-old man probably just minding his own business, and these teens decide, hey, you know what? Let's turn a parking lot into a demolition derby. And let's use this guy as the target. Now, I don't know about you, but if someone is trying to turn me into a speed bump, my only reaction is going to be, not today, ISIS. And this man clearly had the same thought process. Here's the thing, though. These teens were in stolen cars, plural. You know how bold you have to be to not only steal one car, but to then circle back and try to run someone over with it? They didn't just want to get away. They wanted to use the car as a weapon. At that point, that's not joyriding anymore. That's attempted vehicular manslaughter. And look, it's not like this guy just pulled out his gun because he was annoyed they were being loud in the parking lot. No, they were actively trying to run him over. I don't care what anyone says. When a 3,000-pound car is speeding towards you, that is a deadly force. And let me tell you, a car can be just as dangerous as a gun, if not more. At that point, it's not, do I want to use my gun? It's, do I want to survive this? Now, in a rare stretch of occurrence, can we take a moment to appreciate that in New York, of all places, this guy didn't get charged? I mean, you know how New York treats gun owners. They practically are allergic to the Second Amendment over there. So for them to recognize this as a clear-cut case of self-defense, that is actually pretty huge. Maybe, just maybe, we're starting to see a shift in how people view self-defense, especially in places that have historically been anti-gun. But here's the kicker. These weren't just teens like the ones they mention when they talk about, more kids die from gun violence than they do from car accidents. These were car-stealing, attempted vehicular manslaughtering, fully functional criminals. Yet, anti-gun groups would have you believe these kids are victims. But when you're 17 and you're trying to run someone over, you've crossed the line from victim to suspect immediately. Look, I'm all for giving people second chances and redemption and all of that. But if you're out here using a car as a weapon, you need a reality check. And that's exactly what this guy gave them. A 45 caliber reality check. And I'll say it again. This is why I'm against restrictive gun laws. You think the criminals care about gun laws? They clearly don't. You're watching it happen in 4K. They're out here stealing cars and trying to run people over. The only people those laws stop are the good, law-abiding citizens, like this guy, who, thank God, was carrying legally. Imagine if this man wasn't armed. We would be looking at a totally different headline about another senseless death instead of a story about someone defending their life. And for all the talk about how guns are the problem, this story proves that when it comes down to it, the only thing that stops violent criminals is a prepared citizen. And if that doesn't make the case for why the Second Amendment is crucial, I don't know what will.
You know how frightening it is to think about what happens in the moments before, during, and even days after having to use your gun in self-defense? When you first start carrying a gun for protection, it can be a very scary and nerve-wracking experience, especially if you haven't gotten the education and training you need to feel confident. I've been there myself, hoping I never have to go through a self-defense shooting, which is why I'm a member of the USCCA. As a USCCA member, you can eliminate some of the stress of carrying a gun for protection by accessing the amazing wealth of firearm education, training, and current state-specific gun laws of your state or states you may travel to. This can help you be prepared for, or hopefully even avoid, a self-defense incident. As a bonus, members automatically become insured on the self-defense liability insurance policy purchased by and issued to the USCCA. Click below to learn more.
One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.